20-year-old boy seduces 50-year-old woman who was his father's secret lover. A tale of desire, secrets, and consequence. I never expected to meet someone like Eric. Not at my age. Not in a quiet little coffee shop on a rainy afternoon. I was sitting by the window, lost in a book of Neruda's poetry, when I felt a presence near me. A subtle shift in the air, a quiet confidence that announced itself before words were spoken. I looked up. He was young, too young, tall, with sharp eyes and a knowing smirk that reminded me of a man I once loved. "You look like someone who enjoys good poetry," he said, tilting his head towards my book. "And you look like someone who pretends to understand it," I countered. He laughed, sliding into the chair across from me without an invitation. "Then educate me." I should have walked away. I should have told him I wasn't interested, but I didn't. Perhaps it was the way he carried himself, so sure, so unapologetic. Or maybe I'd grown tired of resisting temptation. We talked for hours, long after our coffee had gone cold. He was bold, teasing, and far too charming for his own good. When he finally left, he turned back at the door and said, "This isn't the last time we'll see each other." And somehow, I knew he was right. Eric pursued me with a confidence that made me forget our 20-year age gap. He found reasons to see me, visiting my art gallery, texting me late at night with philosophical questions, inviting me to dinners where the air between us was thick with unspoken desire. "You like to run," he said one evening, his fingers tracing the rim of his wineglass. I raised a brow. "And you like to chase?" He smirked. "Because I know you'll let me catch you." I wanted to deny it, to remind him that I was older, wiser, that I had lived enough to know better. But when he kissed me that night, slow and deliberate, I didn't stop him. One night turned into many. We met in hidden places, whispered in the dark, let our bodies speak where words failed. He made me feel alive, reckless, wanted in a way I hadn't felt in years. I thought I could keep it simple. I thought I could love him without consequence. But love always demands a price. Act 3. I remember the exact moment everything fell apart. Eric was in my bedroom, still drowsy from sleep, when he reached for a book on my nightstand. A small, faded photograph slipped from between the pages and onto the floor. I felt the air leave my lungs as he picked it up. A younger me standing in a Parisian cafe, smiling up at a man he knew all too well, his father. "Tell me this isn't real," he whispered, his fingers tightening around the photo. I sat up slowly. "Eric, tell me this isn't what I think it is," he cut me off, his voice shaking. I closed my eyes. It was a long time ago. He took a step back as if seeing me for the first time. "You were his lover." "Yes." His breath hitched as if I had struck him. "Did you know? When you met me?" "No," I said, desperate for him to understand. "I had no idea you were his son. Not at first. And when you found out..." His voice was colder now, sharp enough to cut through the illusion we had built. I swallowed hard. By then it was too late. His hands clenched into fists. Was I just another version of him? Another man you could seduce? Another lover to replace what you lost? No, I said, my voice breaking. You were different. But he didn't believe me. And maybe in some... Act 4. I never saw Eric again after that night. I packed my things, sold my gallery, and left the city. The past had taken too much from me already. I refused to let it take any more. I heard whispers of him over the years, that he travelled, searching for something he couldn't name, that he threw himself into charity work, trying to build a life separate from the man he had once been. I wondered if he hated me, if he ever thought of me at all. Then, one day, I saw him. At an art exhibit, across a crowded room, his gaze met mine. He was older now, his arrogance replaced with something quieter, more knowing. He didn't smile, and neither did I. We simply held each other's gaze for a long moment, acknowledging the past, the pain, the love that had burned too brightly to last. And then, as if by silent agreement, we turned and walked away.